Another one for Tommy boy. Another one for the world. Another one for the listeners. And maybe.
Welcome back to the Third Leg Podcast. This week we got Week 4 recap plus Week 5 outlook on college football. I got Dr. Dunny and Dan with me. How you doing? How you been, fellas?
Doing
Great.
All right. Doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Pretty
Dude,
good, pretty
Gucci.
good. Just during that intro right there, you could see Dan like doing what he just did right there, trying to get the heart rate up. He's getting pumped, ready to go.
Getting jacked up, bud.
He was stimming. The
Yeah,
kids
there's
call
nothing
it.
better than starting this episode and me just recapping my WNBA bets from last week because I know that's what you guys want. We're like, yeah, college football. Wait a minute. Here's women's basketball. Just what you're listening for.
Curveball. Give it to us, Dan.
Last week, 3 bets. We were trying to go 50-50 on the season. Didn't make the cut. Had 2 wins, though. 2 wins. I get Kelsey Mitchell, 20-plus points. That was a W. And then Ryan Howard, 18 points. She came through with 16, a little short. Took the L on that one. Asia Wilson, 40-plus points, rebounds, assists. She crushed that. Asia Wilson's what Angel Reese wants to be, but she's just never going to get there. So it's tough for her. Tough look for her.
Without the me bounds.
Yeah, she don't do no me bounds. She actually drives the hole, puts the layups in. She makes shots. Angel Reese don't know what that's about, but anyway,
What do we got this week?
This week, we only got 2 games. We're in the semifinals, the playoffs right now. Surprisingly, the Fever won a game. So I think both series are tied. Game 3s are on Friday. I only got two plays since we're limited on games here. So we're going at Kelsey Mitchell, 3+ threes. She plays for the Fever. That's plus 105. And then from the other game, we're going Nefessa Collier. Points, rebounds, assist, 35+. That's plus 135. Lynx
Double
need to win.
pluses.
She's a big player in their team. You know, she's going to come through with a dub.
I
Mitchell's
see
gotta have
Donnie
the game.
locking it in right
I'm
now.
locking in right
I
now.
heard
What was
clicking
the
and him
second
looking
bet?
at his other screen.
He's trying to get it in quick.
What was her name?
Nefessa Collier? I might be butchering that.
Last name Collier.
Collier. Yeah, she plays for the Lynx. She's
And
the
you
best.
were going what again?
Points, rebounds, assists, 35+.
All right.
35+. Should be plus money. She should be all about that.
I'll
Lock
love it.
him in.
Lock it in.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate you.
All right, little week 4 recap. What were the games that most surprised you, Dr. Denny?
I don't know about surprise, but Michigan winning 30-27 at Nebraska. That was huge for us. Truthfully, the score doesn't really tell the game. I feel like we dominated or at least controlled the game much more than a 3-point game. You look at the bonehead play right before halftime, the Hail Mary. That I was just screaming at the TV. If you're gonna go up like that, you must volleyball spike someone's arm in the next year. Break his fucking hand. Anything to make sure that kid doesn't catch the ball. But
There
yeah,
was 5 guys in the end zone, but 4 of them were behind the front receiver. Like, that's what happens every single time. Like, it's a free catch. It's basically nobody around them. So I mean, that's what it looks like. I couldn't even say anything. I just looked at my wife and then I just got up real quick. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta go take a walk.
turn it
I
into
was,
Jeff Long rebound drill and just beat the hell out of someone. Get that damn ball.
Dude, the Hail Jericho though, right before half, that was so fucking deflating.
Dude, I was at a bar down here in North Carolina. The game's not on TV, so I'm watching it on my phone. After they got the sack or whatever it was on 3rd down, I literally shut my phone. Some other dude in the bar wearing a Michigan shirt comes up to me and he's like, dude, they just scored before halftime. I'm like, no, they didn't. Fuck went to halftime. I didn't even think they played it. They ran a play. Open up my phone. And I was like, no way, dude.
Hail
This is
Jericho.
stupid.
Happens to Michigan teams more than anyone. And one of my dad's friends was like, that reminds me of Cordell Stewart. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Reminded me of Aaron Rodgers getting out to
Yeah,
that right
dude.
side and launching it, dude. I was
Yep.
like, oh
That
my
play where he
God,
got fake mask or whatever.
PTSD. Yeah.
The fake face mask that he chucks it and they score.
Yeah,
That's what I thought of when I
crazy
watched the
work.
replay.
Either
Yeah.
way, bouncing back after halftime, not letting it, get to him too much and, pulling the dub out in Nebraska. it's a wild environment. Although they haven't been great for long, they always show out. They got a great fan base. They're always loud. They're always drinking heavy. So having the boys go on the road after that Oklahoma loss on the road and being able to handle business with adversity and like bullshit happening and not letting them get to them. It's good to see, going forward, especially, with our offense being able to put up that many points in that environment and not having X amount of turnovers. We looked pretty clean.
Absolutely. I was very happy with Bryce running the ball a little bit more, and Justice Haynes, damn, he looks good.
Dog.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't really like was, we ran the ball well, so hard to say, but passing game was kind of weak, especially after we blew it up against Central. I get we were playing Central, but we're gonna need it. And
There were flashes of those third down screens we were talking about.
Yeah.
There was a couple drive enders that ended, and it was just a big exhale. Like, we need to push the ball downfield and let our quarterback be able to read the defense and not just have a one-way screen, no options, no RPO, no nothing, nobody moving. So it was good to see that that's not all we did, and we ended up being able to convert a lot of third downs, be able to move the ball. But you seen a little few signs of that still lingering around in the offensive scheme.
Yeah, and I'm having a hard time just like kind of digesting, like, is it our play calling, our receivers not actually getting open? I think it's kind of a combination of both. You look at, I know they grade the college players after each game, and our receiver grades were pretty poor after that Nebraska game. And I'm just like, what's going on in that room? We know they can make plays. We've watched them make plays, but what's happening?
Two of them have 4+ drops already this season. It's like, you
Yeah.
guys got to catch the ball. Got to catch the ball. Bryce is hitting you in a decent spot. Yeah, he might be throwing a flamethrower, but you got one job. So hopefully after the bye week, we see maybe a freshman step up and, get a couple more reps and show out a little bit.
For sure. And I feel like we just need, like you said, more reps, more games, more situational understanding and film sessions going forward, because we have a lot of speedsters, short speedsters, and I feel like when we're getting into zones or running past the spot where they're supposed to slow down or sit, and it's kind of making us get to that last read, dump it down, whatever. But I feel like we're at like a 1-2 read in key situations where like a two-sided receiver setup, or we're going to that screen. It's not like wide open where he can sit, look at the coverage, and then digest and determine what he's going to do with the play. So I feel like eventually it's going to get there, but it's like slowly trickling in. It's kind of normal, but that's normal for a team that's like undefeated, or like building up to this point. We already had a big game and it wasn't there, so we're kind of expecting that jump a little quicker in the season, and just seeing signs of it being there and then signs of it not being there. We're kind of just trying to move the ball towards the right direction.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays out season long too. If they take away option 1, 2, they got to spy on Underwood. How's this going to work out for us? I don't know very many teams that are really going to run into where they have an athletic enough linebacker that can handle Bryce with kind of the speed and shiftiness we've seen so far. I'm walking back my comments.
Hold on. I thought he was
Whoa.
Joe Milton. Or...
Hey.
Hold up.
I've seen enough. I was wrong. All right. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Dunny said, roll the tape back. Well, if teams seen what the Lions did against Lamar, that's basically what teams are going to have to do against Underwood to take that away, because we don't have the over-the-top playmakers around the ball. We have speedsters, Morgan, and players just like Morgan, maybe an inch or two taller, but we don't have a tall receiver core, especially like a guaranteed X. McCullen's really good. We just haven't got him the ball as much. But we're waiting to see that. Eventually it happens. Sometimes it's like week 6, week 7, and then we get some plays over the top, and then that's our guy going forward. But we just haven't seen it yet. We see a lot of over the middle, hopefully getting people trailing us and get our speed moving, or those slip screens outside. So hopefully we can just get that ball downfield going forward with these playmakers. We always use our tight ends, so that's not really a problem. It's really just our X and outside receivers.
Wholeheartedly agree. Still got the best kicker in the league too, in my opinion. So that's at least the one saving grace. If we can get it past the 50, we got 3 points on the board pretty much every time.
And our coach didn't even have to go sleep at his house either to recruit him.
Right.
Big W's.
Hey, we're getting better.
Big
Yeah,
W's.
I'm glad he's got his swagger back. You know, those first couple misses he had in week 1, I think it was, were kind of tough to watch. But you know, I'm glad he's found his place.
Absolutely. Kind of moving on here. Oklahoma, I want to touch on that game. Kind of controversial on how they won. You know, they won 24-17 over Auburn. Was it a pass interference? Was it not a pass interference? Should it have been called? Oklahoma holds on to win to stay undefeated, but they lose their Heisman frontrunner for a few weeks, Dan.
You know, Mateer's still that guy. You know, he's a gamer. He willed him to that victory. But yeah, like you said, he's out a month. I think this is honestly probably the best time for him to be out, though, looking at their schedule. I think that's also probably why they went with it. Like they're saying he broke his hand in the first quarter. He played the whole game. He threw the ball with it. So, I mean, he probably could have played through it if this was their final 4 games of the season. I don't think he's sitting out. The only real tough matchup they have in the next couple of weeks, Texas. That game in the whole grand scheme of things that they lose doesn't matter. They can afford to lose that game. They can't afford to lose the next 4, though, or any one of those. They need to win out after that if they lose that game. I don't know who their backup is. I don't know what they got back there. I think the biggest impact, what's his Heisman odds go to? If he comes back and he balls out those last, 6 weeks or whatever there is left, is that enough? I don't know. I don't really think, other than the Indiana guy, there's nobody who's really played well on a big stage enough to really grab the reins, I think. So I don't know. What are you guys thinking on that?
I mean, for Heisman wise, like I'm with you. He can lose that game, especially if he doesn't play, and then win out and do what he's been doing previously, and I still think he can win it. But that's not something that's even close to heard of or that happens often, someone being able to be out that long. But it also is to the caliber of the other guys. So if the second or the front 3 guys also have a loss or 2, then it kind of creeps in where you don't have this undefeated team with the quarterback leading the charge or whatever, and they're the front runners to win the chip, and you got to give them the Heisman before it even gets there. So I think this year might be the best chance for that to be able to happen. I don't think it's super likely, but if he goes crazy or if for some reason he comes back a week early or anything like that and he gets the job done, then I mean he's still going to be front runner. He's still going to be creeping. I know his odds aren't going to drop like insane. He's still going to have a chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
They plummeted on FanDuel.
What are they at?
He is all the way down to plus 10,000.
Damn.
Unlucky.
I could not believe it. I was like, while you're talking about it, I was like, well, let's look at it, and I just had to keep scrolling. He's in
So who is the front runner? The Indiana guy, or
Indiana kid Fernando
then,
Mendoza
and
plus
then Florida
850.
State.
Carson Beck.
Oh yeah, he was before.
Dante Moore, Jeremiah Smith. That's your top 4.
That's crazy because most of these guys are going to play each other. Like you're going to get a lot of really good games because so many of them are coming out of that conference. Mendoza did go 21 for 23, 5 tutties, 93%, 267 yards, in less than 4 quarters.
I could not believe that. That game was ugly.
I said last week, Illinois is the best team in the Big Ten.
He said hot take.
It was a hot take, and I was wrong. I'm gonna be honest. My mistake. Illinois, your ass. You're bad. You don't even deserve to be ranked after that. You're about to get slaughtered by USC this week. I'm sure of it. But
you're done.
But who's your daddy? Signetti and the boys. They're coming through.
He's hopping ship, bro.
I'm hopping ship. I'm jumping on it. Indiana, best team in the Big Ten this week.
Their quarterback Mendoza, just to finish that, he over the last 2 weeks, he's 40 of 43 for 537 and 10 tutties.
Good night.
That's insane.
Sounds like me playing NCAA
Yeah, versus your little brother or something.
on rookie mode. Okay, come on now.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I think the biggest thing going back to the Heisman odds though is like they really do favor star power. Who's got that? I mean, Mateer's, I would say, top of the class. Going back to that, Jeremiah
He's gonna
Smith's
ha-
also up there. He makes sick catches, sick plays. Carson Beck, he's just a system quarterback. Let's really be honest here. I mean,
yeah, they
he's
gotta
winning
win.
games.
They gotta win. They gotta do their thing and go undefeated. You know, that's basically his route. Maybe not undefeated, but they gotta go one loss, and then they obviously have to beat a lot of big teams to even get to that. So
Yeah,
we'll see. The quarterback thing is always fun just because it plays super heavy in the SEC, maybe one in the Big Ten here and there, but you get to see so many of these matchups and the lines just drop after every game and see that one person keep climbing after big win, big win. So we'll see. It's always fun this early in the year and going into 5 weeks in, seeing where you're at. Usually, most of us not looking too hot.
Amen to that. Gunnar Stockton, I think he's tied for 5th or 6th in odds. If they beat Bama this week, he's going to jump up for Georgia there, and then Dante Moore for Oregon. If they go into Happy Valley and win, he's going to skyrocket. He's already 3rd, but he's gonna be the front runner, I think. So we'll see.
For sure.
you
And that's
said
a
you
big
said
boy
earlier.
game.
You said earlier in an earlier episode, Jimmy, that the year of the fives is the year of the running back. Who's got the top running back odds?
Well, there's a couple names that I don't know, so I might skip over one, but let's find a running back.
Because I'm thinking our boy Hollywood Smothers, he's been cooking.
Buddy, he's
State-
gonna have to go undefeated. He is cooking. He's gonna be ACC Player of the Year, best running back in the ACC.
He
Just
is.
purely off of stats, dude. He's cooking.
All right, I gotta go to Google here. What other games did you guys like?
I'll finish up on that Indiana. They did go up. They had the biggest jump, obviously. They smacked ass, but they went up 8 spots to 11. And then Illinois dog shitters tumbled to 23.
Yeah. Tough read by me. But living you
Win some,
learn.
you lose some. Other games, Clemson's collapse and Dabo's on a hot seat.
I've said it several times. I think in every single episode, Clemson's ass. They suck.
Yep.
They didn't deserve to be in the Big Ten. They didn't deserve to be in the top 10. They don't deserve to be in the top 25. Anybody who's played them is irrelevant. That goes for LSU and Florida. No, not Florida. LSU. And who else played them? Someone else played them. I don't remember who.
LSU week 1, then they played Georgia Tech.
No, Georgia Tech.
Oh, yeah, Georgia Tech.
Hey, Georgia Tech might not lose a game until Georgia, the very
Georgia
last
Tech's
game of the
actually
year.
good, but
And they don't have shit left on their schedule till Georgia, the very last game.
And that game really doesn't even matter for them
If they go undefeated, it won't.
Right.
You might just have to beat them, or you just might, you know what I mean? Like you just got to win the next game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another game I was watching it because that's all that was on out here. NC State versus Duke. I was disappointed in my Wolfpack. Duke came to play. Bailey, quarterback for NC State, CJ Bailey, played the worst game I think of his career. He threw like 5 picks, I think.
No shit.
Couldn't hold on to the ball. But Hollywood Smothers, he was still crushing, still that dog, doing everything he could. 17 carries, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. Can't ask for much else from this kid. He's playing his heart out for this team.
Yeah, he's a dog. Is he a senior?
No, he's a sophomore, I think.
Oh my God, he might get an NIL deal to somewhere else. Big time.
Yeah. Well, I think
they're gonna have to pay him, or he's hitting the portal.
The only thing that could keep him is I think CJ Bailey is one of the higher rated, or what they project to be a higher rated quarterback next year on his junior year. He's a sophomore this year too.
Gotcha.
So they kind of came in together. If they can keep building, keep playing, they have a chance at being decent in the ACC next year, maybe compete for a championship.
Yeah.
But Duke's the same way. Duke's quarterback sick. Darian Mensa, I think is his name. He's chucking the rock all around. I think he's the highest rated quarterback to come out. That they expect to come out for the draft next year, I think. So some big things down here from the schools in NC. You know, we're not just basketball schools down here.
Hey, we see you down there. We see you. Big time basketball schools, though. You guys are about to get rolling.
I really can't find which running back has the best odds. I see Justice Haynes and Jeremiah Love at plus 10,000 though. So I mean,
Yeah, Jeremiah Love ain't been doing nothing, but
yeah.
What about you, Donnie? What did you see? What other games did you see last week?
Well, we already covered the Syracuse Clemson because Clemson is ass. Wisconsin lost again to Maryland. Maryland is
Dude,
undefeated in
they're
the Big Ten.
frauds.
What is going on with Luke Fickell as a head coach? Like, you can't coach in the Big Ten, but you go to Cincinnati and you build a program that's actually competing against Big Ten teams. It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. They're giving them everything there. Wisconsin they're just not it, man. That whole division, that whole side, it's just not going to happen. It's always going to come out of our side, no matter what. Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State.
And you throw Oregon in there. But yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah. Oregon now, for sure.
it's just sad to see because when they had what was his name? I can't even think of the coach. Starts with a B. Blanking on it right now. Belima or something like that. They could always run the ball and play defense, and they can't do a damn thing right now.
They had the biggest line in the country.
Right.
Yeah, they had the best line, and they had a running back who always could just tear it up, tote the rock.
Every single time. Went to the league, bro. They just produced. They farmed running backs. Spawned
Jonathan Taylor's really the last one they had, really. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, that was the end of kind of his era.
I was gonna say they haven't been good since then.
Yep.
Oh, it's unlucky. A lot of games to look forward to this week. What's catching your guys' eye?
We're starting conference play for everybody this week, so let's go. This ought to be a good, 2 big games at 3:30, 2 big games at 7:30. But I mean, USC Illinois, it was going to be a huge matchup until Illinois shit the bed last week, but I think the over-under on that game is 60.5. So Dan's going to want to tune in because it's going to be a game that he likes to see.
Points.
Yeah, here's my thing. I was thinking points, but after watching Illinois suck ass last week, I think they're going to suck ass again this week. And I watched a little bit of that USC Michigan State game. USC looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. So I think Illinois is in for another week of getting their doors blown off. I don't think they're going to get it figured out in a week after that embarrassing loss. So, I was all in on the Illini. Now I'm all out.
I think they might bounce back this week, and Michigan State's defense might make teams look better than they are. We'll see.
Hey, stay covered for me. Plus 17.5.
Yes,
baby.
sir.
Let's go.
That was
Bring
one of
the
the ones,
home.
man.
Notre Dame, Arkansas. Arkansas had a really emotional loss last week to Memphis, 32-31, I think. Fumbled the ball right at the goal line to give the ball to Memphis to end the game. It's like
didn't even need to.
Yeah, Notre Dame, they can't beat a soul right now, but they're favored.
They're ranked
3.5. Yeah, still ranked 0-2, still ranked number 22 in the country. Crazy. Or 1-2. Yeah.
1-2, but still.
I wasn't going to give you guys a hot take, but now you're going to make me. And I
personally
think Notre Dame's a top 10 team. They might be 0-2, but I think they're good. And I'm probably going to be eating this later.
Hey, they lost the 2 games they lost in a very close fashion. We'll see. That's one. The rest of the season we'll see. I'm not going to judge them off those first 2 losses because both those teams are top 10 teams now. So I'm going to give them a slight break compared to the last 2 episodes where they've always been frauds. But hot take Dan.
I wasn't going to say it. I've been thinking it I was thinking it last week. It was going to be one of my hot takes, and I thought I'm going to pause, see what happens.
I'll put this one in my back pocket and save it for next week.
All right. Well, good. I like that. I like that thought process. Number one, Ohio State travels out to Washington. Their first, road real test, I guess, this year. 8.5 point spread. You guys think that's too much? Is it just right? What do you think?
Joe Bag said, "Oh, Ohio State's losing this week." Washington averages 55 points a game, and OSU allows 100 rushing yards a game so far.
Damn.
The spread's
think,
pretty high, and the over under is pretty high, and the spread's pretty low for
I think
what this game is.
this is a good chance for us to kind of see how that Texas Ohio State game actually was. Washington puts up a bunch of points. I don't think their defense is great. But Ohio State's offense hasn't looked great against non-Power 5. It's looked good against non-Power 5 teams, but
struggled
see what
against
they actually
Texas.
got.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So-
interesting. Looking at it and just seeing the names, right? Ohio State,
Yeah.
Washington, 8.5 points. You kind of think, well, that might be not enough, but Vegas always knows something, and I would love to see a little Husky money line there, dub. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'll
it's
make
in-
the whole nation's week.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too that line or the over under so high, but then you got Ohio State. You're like, oh, Washington averages all these points, but you look at it from the defensive side of Ohio State, they allow the least amount of points in the league. So
They've
how's
only
that
allowed
make any
they've
sense?
only allowed
somebody
two touchdowns.
knows.
Only allowed 2 touchdowns all year, Ohio State.
It's not too often you get to say Las Vegas doesn't know what they're talking about. They know something.
Washington has scored on 23 of their 29 drives. They've only
Wow.
punted or not scored on 6 drives this year. 55 points.
Hey,
To
I'd
be
love
fair,
to see it.
I don't really think they've played anybody either, though. So
For sure.
it's kind of a good test for both teams to see kind of where they are.
Most definitely.
Yep, and it's a 7:30 night game in Washington. So Ohio State's gonna have to travel. It'll be a fun game. That also plays into the spread. You probably get 2 points for being at home versus a team that's for sure supposed to win. Because looking at it, you would think it's 9.5 for sure.
No, yeah, for sure, definitely.
LSU travels to Ole Miss. Sorry, Dan, jumping the gun here.
Well, no, that's what I was about to
Ole
say.
Miss?
LSU is one of my fraud teams. I brought it up before. I think this is where they're going to be exposed. Honestly, Ole Miss is better, in my opinion. This is where we're going to see that LSU's win at Clemson means absolutely nothing, and they're dog shit.
This game's also crazy. The Ole Miss is 1.5 point favorites, but the over under is at 55.5.
Right? It just doesn't make sense to me, And Lane Kiffin is calling for everybody to take the over.
Is that legal?
I don't know. He's the only coach in America that talks about the point spread and the over under all the time.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. His girlfriend is getting railed by an LSU student. So
His daughter.
His daughter.
His
sorry,
daughter,
not
not his girlfriend. Come on, relax.
Hey,
daughter.
we're taking the over if it was this girl. Okay.
No, but Ole Miss has the kid from Ferris that transferred to them. Kind of pretty cool story. He wasn't the starter at Ferris. Then the quarterback got hurt, so he got to take over, led the team to a national championship, and then goes to Ole Miss. Ole Miss's quarterback gets hurt. He gets to take over, and now he's got him as the 6th team in the country. So
Slinging the rock. He looks really fucking good.
And his name's Trinidad, I think, right? That's a baller name.
Dude, he's got a gangster name. Gangster name.
Another big game. We got Auburn, Texas A&M. I think this is really, for me, it's just a good metric for where Oklahoma actually is. Given that they just played Auburn, we know Texas. I know Texas A&M. It's good because they beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a top 10 team. That's my thought process. Here it is. So I think it's a good metric for where Oklahoma is. If this is a close game, then Auburn's not a bad team. That win actually means a lot for Oklahoma. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the game because every game at that 12th man stadium is fun, and Auburn coming off that loss, we'll see if they're be able to buckle down and be able to travel on the road in a super crazy environment and be able to get the job done or keep it competitive. Texas A&M and their fan base is going nuts. They're in the top 10 again. So just seeing if they can live up to that hype or if Auburn will be able to bounce back. Like I said, this game is a 6.5 point spread. Personally, I like Texas A&M. I like that 12th man. I love how they fly around the field. They're going to put up 30 points, and it's going to be up to Auburn being able to match it.
They say Kyle Field, which is Texas A&M home field, is a tough place to play. It gets real rowdy in there. They talk about the 12th man, like you're talking about. Arkansas is coming off a real emotional loss against Oklahoma. Or not Arkansas, good God, what am I talking about? Auburn is coming off a real emotional loss against Oklahoma. I am with you right there. I really, really like the Aggies to cover this week. So look out for it, boys.
Probably have a blackout like they do, and
Yeah.
that environment's just nuts.
It really is.
Haven't seen it going crazy since Johnny, but
Well, it might look like it this week.
that's what I'm saying. They're back in the top 10.
Yeah.
This game is going to be huge. They win this game, that place is going to blow up next home game.
They got a quarterback who's balling, Marcel Reed. I think he's up there in the Heisman candidacy as well. So look out. Tigers might be going down again, or 2 losses in a row.
What about Alabama, Georgia? This is that 3:30 game.
It's going to be a rock'em sock'em robot game every single time these two match up. It's in Georgia. I really feel like that might be the deciding factor. They're playing at home. They are coming off a real highlight win against Tennessee, where they probably shouldn't have won, but they pulled it out. They find a way to win. That's what we talked about.
Yeah.
And they had a bye week. So, they should be good to go, ready to go against Alabama. We'll see if Bama has any tricks up their sleeve, but I don't know. 2.5, now 3.5 at some sites. I don't know if that's enough for Bama to cover there.
For sure.
Georgia is 1-9 in the last 10 versus Alabama. Kirby Smart cannot beat Alabama even without Nick Saban. He couldn't do it last year. At the beginning of the year, I think I was one of the people who was like, is Alabama toast? Are we done with the dynasty? I think this is a test of that. Is DeBoer going to work out? Is he a long-term solution? This game's probably going to tell you what you need to know. It also is going to tell you what you need to know about Florida State. Are they a real deal? They haven't played anybody since Alabama. They play Miami, I think, next week or in a couple weeks, so we'll see that game. But it kind of gives you a litmus test there for all these teams.
For sure. And this is just like the marquee matchup for the best conference in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's watching this game. Everybody's head turns when this game comes on. I wish it would have been the 7:30 game, just so everybody can watch it. It's the only game. There's 2 good 3:30 games on. But I feel like this whole game's going to come down to offense. If Alabama can get enough big plays, and if Georgia can do what they've been doing and push the ball and do the play action pass, kind of like the Detroit style. They run the ball a lot and work everything off that play action. And Alabama has to push the ball downfield because Georgia's defensive line is better than their offensive line. So I don't see them winning the trench battle. So it's got to be a lot of big plays, deceptive play calling, and just being able to scheme the right way, because I think Georgia's right now better, especially coming off a bye.
Remind me if I'm incorrect here. Didn't Ryan Williams really ball out against Georgia last year?
Yeah, he had that crazy spin. He won the fucking game for him.
So, he's been kind of struggling a little bit this year, not getting going as much as everyone was thinking. Look out. He could have a breakout game, It's going to be on Georgia. Dan Kirby Smart, 1-9 in the last 10. I would have never guessed that. I couldn't remember that they didn't win last year, but can Gunnar Stockton do his job, control the ball, pick up, make those drives longer and longer and longer, keep Alabama one-dimensional, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be their best, or that's going to be Alabama's best chance, is being able to keep or be able to play both both
Yeah.
ways on the offensive side, because if they have less than 100 yards rushing, they will lose. I say they have to have big plays, but to have big plays, you have to have safeties creep and not be able to play a two shell and have nothing over the top all week or all game. So you have to establish some kind of run, get the play action passing going, but they have a worse front. So we'll see. Like I said, it's always a scheme battle between these two teams, huge chess game, always have great coaching, and their staff. They know the teams very well. They know the recruits very well. So it's always a fun battle. I can't wait.
We got a big matchup in the Big Ten. Oregon versus Penn State. What are we thinking there?
Gonna be a whiteout, right? It's at Penn State.
Oh yeah, Happy Valley 7:30 game. You know it's gonna be a whiteout. That place is gonna be rocking.
Oregon's about to figure out what the Big Ten's all about.
Take Oregon money line.
I like
James-
Oregon too, especially plus money. It's Franklin. I'm sure
It's
you're
still
gonna
James
say
Franklin.
it's still
It's
James
still
Franklin.
Drew Aller. Let's go.
Yeah, just take the plus money if you can. It would have been juiced if it would have been Oregon. So the fact that you still get them at plus money, just take it.
What do
I
you
think
think,
Oregon,
Dan?
they left a bad taste in my mouth after they didn't cover from Northwestern. So
Brother.
They want me
Yeah,
some money.
that's tough. That's tough.
they owe me some money. Dante Moore choked, threw that pick instead of a touchdown on the last drive he was in. Pissed me off. But I haven't watched much of either of these teams other than that Northwestern game, and I didn't think Oregon looked very well or very good. But we know Franklin's not great in big matchups. He usually chokes, calls some dumbass play at the worst time for some fucking reason. So if I was going to pick one, I'd lean Oregon. I don't really
For
know.
sure.
I think it's a good test though for where the Big Ten's at. I mean, I think both of these teams are receiving first place votes. I think that also kind of going back to kind of what we talked about earlier, Ohio State, like how good are they actually? They're not getting all the first place votes. Teams that are 5th, 6th, 7th ranked in the country are getting first place votes. So nobody really knows who's actually good right now. But
sure.
we're about to find out this week.
Yeah, some cool stats about that game, or some stats. Oregon has 51 points per game, and Penn State's only allowing 6. So it's going to be a tale of two sides of the ball. Penn State usually has that defense, but it never shows up in big games. So in this scenario, good weather conditions, I'm going to take the offense over the defense, especially in college.
There you go. I love it.
Now that since you're saying that, you're going to take the offense over the defense. I got a trivia question for you boys.
Oh,
My
shit.
favorite time of the episode. There's 3 Big Ten teams in the top 5 highest scoring offenses in all of college football. Who are the 3 teams?
Indiana,
I would guess Oregon with what Bradley
Oregon,
just said as well.
Indiana, Oregon,
And then Washington, like we talked about.
Washington. Yeah, there we go.
Are those your 3 picks?
Yeah,
That you're going
fuck it.
with?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's too happy. We got it
Yeah,
wrong.
he is, dude. We're fucked. We're fucked.
USC.
What do
USC,
you
only
go
get
with?
3. We only get
Washington,
3.
and
You got 3. What do you guys go
USC,
with?
Washington, Oregon. That's what I'm going with.
Okay, let's do it.
You got 2 of the 3.
What's the other
2
one?
of the 3. You fucked up. You had all 3. Jimmy took
Damn
the wrong
it.
team out.
Damn.
It's
We
Washington,
suck again.
Washington, Indiana, and USC. They're
That's a
good
I
one.
think
Yeah.
they're 2, 3, 5. in
Not what you
points
would
scored.
expect, not having an Ohio State up there. That's, kind of the anomaly that I would imagine years past would be the difference. Because Indiana was
I
the same last year. They averaged the most.
Yeah, I think the fact that Ohio State and Oregon aren't in here are kind of big telltales of maybe these 3 teams are actually pretty good. Maybe they all. I mean, Indiana we know has played somebody. I would say USC's win against Michigan State, we dog on them, but Michigan State's a decent team to play. As much as you guys aren't going to say it, but
Dan said it.
I did say it.
That's enough
So-
for all of us.
Yep. That's enough of that. You better watch yourself. Well, speaking of all those good teams, I want to get into our AP or our top 5 teams that we think are right now. We know we were talking about there's at least 3, 4, 5 other teams getting first place votes. So let's see if we're all on the same page.
So before, I guess the top 5 for anybody who doesn't know the AP poll, top 5 teams right now are Ohio State, Miami, Penn State, LSU, and Georgia. That's the AP.
All right.
What do you guys got?
I'll go
Done it.
first. I'll get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Miami, LSU, Georgia, Texas A&M, Florida State.
Those in order, top 5?
That's in order. Ohio State, they're a fraud. They're going to lose this week. They should have lost week 1. They look bad. Oregon and Penn State. We'll find out who is the better team this week. But again, I don't know. I'm not trusting the Big Ten quite yet.
What'd your dumb ass say? Miami, LSU was number 2?
Yeah.
He said, all right, let me
I've been
go.
on LSU the whole goddamn time.
All right.
Let me go before Dan roasts everybody. All right. All right. Top 5. We got Georgia. They play Bama this week. They get it done. Nobody will question it. Number 2, Miami. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 4, Florida State. Number 5, LSU.
I like it. That's probably a legit rating right there. That's pretty good, Riley. Pretty good.
Decent. I got some practice. All right, Dan, roast the shit out of us. What do you got?
All right, number 1, going Miami. Number 2, you guys didn't say it. I've been bricked up all year. Oklahoma, number 2.
I had him as honorable mention.
Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, I don't think Jimmy, you might have said it. I missed after you said LSU. I kind of blacked out. So number 4, Texas A&M. And then number 5, I got Ohio State in there.
Keep it respectable.
Not bad. You're not bad. Thinking with something else other than your head for number 2, but it's fine.
It is what it is.
Going through it, Oklahoma's beat Auburn and they beat Michigan. That counts for something. LSU, who have they beat? Nobody. You guys ranking them. That's bullshit. They ain't beat no ranked team. That's dog water.
You can't change your schedule right now, you can just only work with what you got. So
fair.
That's where I'm at.
And Dan doesn't have them in the top 15, so
I don't.
So I get it. I get it.
They lose to
I get
Ole Miss.
the animosity.
If the game's close and they lose to Ole Miss, they'll still be in the top 15 until they probably play their next. I don't know who they play. Probably in 2 weeks, they probably play somebody ranked, and then they'll drop out. If they get their doors blown off by Ole Miss, which I'm kind of thinking they might, they ain't gonna be ranked in top 15. But we'll see.
Hey, a lot
Ole
of these.
Miss, South Carolina, Vandy, Texas A&M, Bama.
South Carolina,
2 weeks.
Lenore Sellers. That's a trap game. Like if they don't lose to Ole Miss, I think that's a trap game depending on how well they play. South Carolina's good.
That could be overlooked.
You guys had Florida State in. I didn't. Florida State's close. I think it's really, for me, it's just I think Alabama's kind of in that Clemson category for me right now. They haven't played anybody besides Florida State. Are they actually good? We'll see when they play Georgia this week. I think for me, Texas A&M and Miami being in my top 5, they both beat Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's a top 10 team again. So that counts for something. And
it's all part of the algorithm.
Yeah, it is.
Well, most of these, or a decent amount of these top 5 teams that we have big games this week. So next week we're gonna have a different discussion and a lot to talk about of these big games. But rolling into our picks for this week, how many plays and what you got, Dunny?
Well, just recap. Last week went 2-5, so that moves me to 12-12 on the season. We're back to 500. Nothing like a clean slate going into conference play.
Oh no.
6 plays. Let's keep it at 6. We got good luck going with it. Notre Dame to cover 3.5 against Arkansas. I think the line might have even moved to 4.5 so far. I like them to go in and beat the Razorbacks. LSU money line. I think they're legit. LSU, Ole Miss over 54.5. Lane Kiffin told you take the over. We're gonna listen to him. maybe it backfires. Texas A&M minus 6.5. I really think that with Auburn losing that emotional game last week, they're going to struggle to get going against A&M this week. Oregon money line, James Franklin's a choke artist, and Marshall money line against Louisiana Lafayette.
Write that down.
Nice.
That's a
one
plus
on me.
money play.
Marshall money line. Plus money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. I have 6 as well. A little overlapping. We got the A&M minus 6.5. And obviously I just put that Marshall on. I got minus 6.5 Florida State versus Virginia. If I'm going to put them in my top 5, I'm going to take them to cover 6.5 versus Virginia, even if they're in Virginia. Who cares? Minus 7.5 Indiana versus Iowa. I'm going to take the team that scores the most points versus the team that scores the least amount of points, or one of the least amount of points in the Big Ten. Low, kind of chalky bet, but seems too free not to take. Iowa State minus 6.5 versus Arizona. Iowa State is home. We've backed them 2 times and they've covered 2 times, so we're going to go for the 3-peat. Overlap Oregon money line versus Penn State plus 145. We don't have to talk about it no more. Penn State's not going to get any more of my breath.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Dan?
Well, last week we went 1-5. So this week we're going 5-0. We're bringing it back. I got Alabama versus Georgia going to the over on that game, over 52.5. I just think it's going to be a high scoring game, in my opinion.
Okay.
USC minus 4.5. I got this line before the USC game ended earlier. I watched Illinois play. I said, you guys suck. USC's beating the shit out of you. Minus 4.5. Took it early. I think the line's probably, it might even be at minus 7.5 now. I don't know what the hell it is. It ain't minus 4.5, I tell you that.
Get them while they're hot.
We're going Ole Miss versus LSU over 55.5 points. On that with Dunny. Lane Kiffin said, take it. We're taking it. I'd be a bit of surprise here. Mississippi State plus 7.5 versus Tennessee. I think this could be kind of a trap game for Tennessee. Mississippi State's pretty decent. I think Tennessee will probably still win, but I think Mississippi State's going to play this a lot closer than what they think. And the last one, I'm going with our Rainbow Warriors plus 6.5 versus Air Force.
Bringing them back.
I just don't really know why Air Force is favored in this one, to be completely honest, but I'm going to lay off the money line.
You're not going to sprinkle it at all?
I don't think so. Just because I don't know enough about Air Force. And unfortunately, I couldn't watch Hawaii's game was on fucking Scribs or something. I thought that was a spelling bee. So I couldn't even watch the game last week. So I didn't get any updates on what happened in that Fresno game and why they lost, because that seemed like bullshit. So
He said I call bullshit.
Taking them to cover plus 6.5.
I'm glad we're back on him.
Yeah.
No Hollywood Smothers bet, or is he got a
there's no lines right now, man. I was looking for one. I wanted a touchdown. There's no lines because they're playing late. The only touchdown scores I could see were earlier in the day. Didn't love any of those, but Smothers I'll probably play. He's got 100 yards in every single game he's played except against ECU, which is crazy because I was at that game and ECU's dog.
Just because
he should have had like 200 yards in that game, but I'm probably gonna take him for 100 yards. 100 yards and a touchdown parlay, slap it on there, free money.
One time.
Lean that I was looking at is Haynes King 60 plus rush yards. That is plus 110 right now on FanDuel. He didn't get it in his last game, but when the team needs someone, he's gonna run the ball. He's been over 100 twice already this season. Georgia Tech's good. He likes to run the ball a lot. Maybe even sprinkle him touchdown plus over on the rush yards. Get you a real good plus money bet there. So look at it. That's a little lean for you.
He's their best or most athletic best player on their team. So crunch time, he's gonna have the ball in his hands, at least to make the decision. And you do see him in big games make so many plays at the end, or so many plays in crunch time. He always has the ball in his hand. So you've been all over him all year. Touchdown, 100 yards. I mean, he's been our guy.
Absolutely. Moving into the third leg podcast parlay. All right.
Nice.
Each of us came up with a leg, then we all agreed on a leg. This week we got plus 1,194. My leg, I took Texas A&M minus 6.5. I really think they do get the job done at home this week with Auburn coming off that emotional loss.
I got Florida State -6.5, correct? Versus Virginia -120.
That's a Friday game, so we'll know right away going into Saturday if we got a leg down or
Get
not.
that leg out of the
Yeah.
way.
I took Syracuse plus 5.5. I think they got that. I think they got it in there.
Yep, and then we all agreed upon the old Cyclones, Iowa State -6.5. We've been on them a lot so far this year. They're coming off another bye. Rocco, he's gonna sling the rock. Let's get the job done.
Absolutely. Those are our boys. They were the ones that played overseas, so they get 2 buys. They get 2
Yeah.
buys quick in the first 5 weeks. Good for the team, especially being undefeated. Like everything's rolling right now. Hopefully they got healthy and they're in a good spot.
Absolutely. I forget who they even play. Iowa State. Where are they at? Oh,
I think they're playing
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yep,
Arizona, yep.
Yep.
Ricola.
I love it.
All right, we got anything else, fellas?
I think that's it.
Gucci.
That's it.
Perfect.
All right, gang. Hell yeah. We will see you guys next week. Appreciate you guys. Peace.
Peace.
Another one for Tommy boy. Another one for the world. Another one for the listeners. And maybe